More than a year after the Mueller report thoroughly debunked the collusion conspiracy theory, Democrats are still pursuing the administration in court over that document. In a new Supreme Court brief the day before yesterday, House Democrats said they had the right to continue because, now listen to this, the president's impeachment did not actually end with his acquittal. Their brief says they are weighing, quote, whether to recommend new articles of impeachment. The House Democrats would rather spend a fourth consecutive year trying to cram their politics into the legal system than actually govern the country during a pandemic.
You know, I don't know, Sam, I don't know. I know you've looked into this. It's pretty amazing. I know you were looking into,
Sam was
looking into another. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just giving us a quick look over. It's truly amazing. The Supreme Court has decided, at least for right now, that they're not going to hear this case. That doesn't mean that they won't hear it in the end. Basically what it is there was grand jury testimony from the Robert Mueller Russia investigation, and the Democrats want to see it. They think it might be prevalent to some of the questions that Mueller raised, because if you remember, Mueller didn't come down with a final verdict on Trump's guilt when it comes to obstruction of justice and things along those lines.
Now you're talking about the impeachment.
Yes, this is exactly right. Right, and the
so,
Democrats are asking for these documents. Yep, and they want to be able to...
What documents? Mueller's documents.
Yes, and they are looking
to continue to pursue impeachment. Is that it?
Yes, they would like to see grand jury testimony that is hidden, of course, the nature of grand jury, from the Russia investigation, and they're wondering if there's any prevalent information in there so that they might bring new charges against Donald Trump for another round of impeachment. So we already went through the Ukraine thing, and now we're going back to Russia because Ukraine didn't seem to work. The Supreme Court has temporarily prevented this, so that's not to say we won't go back to this in the fall, which they are considering, but at the meantime, they're saying not right now, not during the pandemic, we're not going to do this, but we'll let you know when we come back in September, October, around that time. It could be interesting because, Trump could win, and then they're going to have to fight an incumbent president who the public has decided that even despite all these impeachment efforts, we want him again. If it's Biden, then Biden's probably just going to hand over the documents, and then we'll go from there. So that's going to be interesting, too, because what are they going to do? Condemn him post-office? That would be kind of interesting and pretty unprecedented, I would think.
Yeah, it really would be unprecedented, to say the least. I just, they need to be focusing. I guess this hasn't occurred to the Democrats. It's sad. But they ought to focus on a candidate. They ought to focus on trying to get a candidate that can beat President Trump. Now, of course, the only reason, because I'm giving them way more credit than I should be, that they've got some brains, the only reason they're not putting forth a candidate that can beat President Trump is because they don't have one. There's not one out there. All their candidates are running on communism or socialism or all the things that we despise. They're going to be running on the fact that, they're in cahoots with China. They love China. It would be just totally politically incorrect to be able to sanction or to give China a hard time. They're our friends, on and on it goes. And this is all they have. It's all they have. And I'll tell you, I find it amazing that they don't have the common sense or the intellect to figure out that this is not a good strategy, that it still hasn't been proven to them yet. They still believe that people want this. I'm not saying there's not a handful of people that want it. Of course there are. But it is just amazing to me that they continue to do this kind of stuff. Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.